These are some of the coolest guns that you can actually buy. Today I'm going to give you a variety of 5 guns that you will definitely want to see here in action. These are guns that I think are some of the coolest ones that you can actually buy. Now, of course, there are guns for specific purposes. A lot of the ones we cover here are concealed carry, and that's great, man. And some people would say all guns are cool, and yeah, there's mostly truth to that. There's some oddball ones out there that I really have no use for, but regardless, these all have the it factor. If these were clothing, we would say they have drip. If they were in a relationship or trying to get a girl, we would say they have riz. At least that's what the kids say, or my kids say, I don't know. Anyways, these are some of the cool guns, man. They're the cool crowd, you know what I mean? Like, they just are it. And so the first one I'm gonna show you is a lever action. You might be thinking, well, that's old school. Well, if you have a cowboy niche to fulfill, this is a good one. This is actually a Henry model H012X. And so it gives you that old school lever action feel, but it has some modern conveniences that makes this gun really awesome to shoot. First of all, it's drilled and tapped, so you can put a scope on here of your liking, and then it does have fiber optic sights, red here in the rear, green in the front. What's also cool about this gun is that you can actually side load it, or you can fill it up there from the tube. It's got a Picatinny rail up underneath, so light, laser, or whatever you want to add there. Let's shoot this one a little bit. Let me show you how cool these things are. Smell the gunpowder. It smells so good. This thing is a tack driver, dude. I have not adjusted this thing at all, and it's super smooth, man. Just a lot of fun to shoot, you know? Now, the side loader is cool because it allows you to top this off quickly, and of course, you don't have to have your fingers at the front of the muzzle if you want to load in from the front of the tube. I don't know that that's a deal breaker for a whole lot of people, but I actually wanted one that loads from the side. And of course, we get that buttery smooth action that lever actions are known for. Synthetic stock and furniture on the gun, right? So it's going to be pretty heavy duty and very resistant to any kind of weather that you may be in. Generous butt pad in the rear. This one's actually chambered in 44 Magnum. You can shoot 44 specials out of it. A good lever action one like this definitely has the cool factor. This thing slaps those targets, dude. It's making those targets, it's, well, biatch. Now, all these really cool guns are typically pretty expensive, but there is one you can get for little to nothing. This is the last day for your chance to enter to win the Korth NXS. 11:59 at Pacific Standard Time tonight is your last chance to enter to win. So you click the link in the description, buy yourself a collectible item, boom, you are entered to win. You support that small veteran-owned company we partnered with and myself directly. It's a win-win-win all the way around. And that Korth NXS is something that would make even Dirty Harry over here jealous of. It is sweet, man. So I'll leave a card to that full video up here, and I'll leave the link in the description. Good luck to every single one of you. There's a lot of pistols out there, but it's kind of cool to have the first 9mm ever produced, right? And so this is a Luger P08, and these things range all over the place, right? From pre-World War I to the interwar period, World War II, and beyond. Wooden steel gun, looks really kind of wild, you know, in comparison with today's guns. The action is a toggle link, right? And so each and every shot, this thing is going to come up and it's going to close just like that. And you may be thinking, man, that's that's not very intuitive because it blocks your sight every shot. But it happens so quick, and this thing is super accurate, man. So this is one of those guns, man, like you can own any 9mm out there, but to have the first successful 9mm is pretty special. You can see how the barrel moves back just ever so slightly, and then that toggle takes care of the rest of the action. This one was actually made in 1938, so it has the Waffenamps and, you know, military proofs from Germany and all that kind of stuff. Another cool feature of these guns is that a lot of them from this period actually had the ability to add a stock on the rear. So if you don't want to fill out all the paperwork and all the crap that it takes to get an SBR, you could buy one of these and then find a stock for it, right? So it is not an SBR in that case. Actually, I might end up showing you one of those right here in a minute. But regardless, man, this is a fantastic shooting pistol. It's got a great trigger in it too. Boom, just like that. You got a manual safety right there. This is an awesome piece of history, one that shoots well. Keep in mind, these things, not only do they range all over the place as far as the years they were made, but they also range all over the place as far as the price. Some of the Black Widows, some of the artillery versions can get really, really costly. So just keep that in mind. This one, I want to say it was under $2,000, and I think it's a good example. One that I was going to shoot anyways. Somebody at some point put some red paint on the front of the sight right there and a little bit on the screw right here, but that all kind of leads to the character of this firearm. Now, I was actually going to save this one for a future video, but I just told you about it, so I can't do that. This is the C96 Mauser. So I'll show you this in a minute, but the gun itself is wild. It looks, I mean, if you think the Luger looks wild, look at the C96 Mauser there. It just is so different than anything out there, and it definitely adds to the cool factor. Now, funny enough, you have elevator style sights. You can see the fire blue components and stuff, which makes this, you know, those kind of components, man, really just make a beautiful gun. This is a 1912 production year, so this is a commercial gun, but regardless, you have these elevator sights. They go out to 1,000 meters, which is a little overzealous if you ask me, but regardless, man, it's still a cool feature. Of course, it is hammer fired, and then you have a safety right here. Now, this safety is what I was referring to in our latest revolver video that you want to check out. Like, you really want to check it out. I'm not going to say too much more than that, but I'm going to link that video down below. You really want to check that one out. But regardless, this is what I was talking about. It has a safety right there built in, and then of course your slide or your bolt right there, which accepts stripper clips just like this. You load them from the top right there, you push them down, you pull the clip out, and it will automatically chamber for you. And then you can actually release those rounds. Like, let's say you just want to empty it and you don't want to cycle the bolt each and every time, or the slide. You can actually push this down, and the rounds will fall out along with the, you know, follower and spring and all that kind of stuff. And then we have another cool part of this. So this piece right here actually doubles as a holster. There's your belt loop right there. This one is actually numbered to the gun too, by the way, which is pretty awesome. And then we have that same slot I was talking about on the Luger, and we can take that and boom, attach it just like that. Now, my friends, we have an SBR that the ATF can't do anything about. The C96 Mauser, again, these can be expensive, but if you want one of the coolest little freaking SBR carbines that's not an SBR really in the ATF size, this is one that you can buy. The broom handle C96 Mauser, it definitely has the cool factor in my opinion. We're going to be talking about is the fantastic Chris Vector. This one's in that Arctic white color, which is going to get super dirty. But regardless, man, when it comes to cool guns, this one has it. Now, these things were even cooler before the ATF started regulating plastic. There's still injunctions, and, you know, it was denied in the Senate. It was passed in the House, denied in the Senate. And there's some Supreme Court rulings. There's all kinds of things going on. Here's my official opinion of this still. This thing's going to get overturned. But we're kind of all in this holding pattern, and so it's kind of hard to judge where we're at. Regardless, these things were a lot cooler when you could simply put a brace on it, right? That doesn't take away from the gun, right? The ATF doesn't say this gun's uncool just because, you know, now it's a bit neutered, right? And I don't think it's going to be neutered forever, not for long anyways, hopefully. But regardless, what you get is a futuristic style gun. Now, it's not just futuristic looking, but in the action and the design. So you have this big body right here, right? And so your magazine goes in right there. I have some of the extensions from you know, Chris. Actually comes back and down. And so that is designed to mitigate the recoil. This one's chambered in 45. You can get these in 9 and in 10 millimeter. So, you know, the way this is designed is for a specific purpose. And actually, this thing is pretty freaking light recoiling considering that it is, you know, chambered in 45, right? Now it's got some weight to it as well. And then, of course, you know, you got the built-in hand stop. This is actually the SDPE, so you have rails on either side with this little attachment right here, bolt release right there. Of course, you got your trigger, safety, all that good stuff. Plenty of pick rail up top too to put your optics and all that kind of stuff. The Chris Vector definitely, although not as cool right now, definitely still has the cool factor for sure. Last gun we're going to talk about today is the Sig MCX Spear. So if you are into AKs, but maybe you don't like the action of an AK, you like the action of an AR, look no further, right? This one's chambered in 7.62 by 39. You can see that banana style magazine right there, 28 rounds by the way. Yeah, you can buy traditional ARs and stuff, which are cool, but this one just offers a lot in a package that's pretty cool. Now, it's not just chambered in 7.62 by 39. You have 5.56, you have 300 blackout, you have the regular Spear, which is 308. You have the lightened handguard up front. You have plenty of M-lock spots right here, so you can put whatever attachments you want, and yet it's still clean and trimmed down as much as it possibly can. You have adjustable gas system right there, super easy to get to, right? The Sig quick detach muzzle flash right there. Interchangeable barrels, and then of course you have back here, it's pretty cool because again, you have air style controls right there. You have a quick bolt release right here, very intuitive, right? And then everything in here kind of looks like an AR from there. You have the Sig flat blade trigger. Because it doesn't use a buffer system, you actually have the ability to fold the stock, right? So you can make it more of a compact package if this is something that you're going to use as like a truck gun or something like that. Pretty expensive truck gun, but regardless, if you want one that offers a lot of different features, the MCX is one of my favorite rifles out there. Now, before you go, I actually have reviews on every gun you just seen, and I have some updates coming as well that I think you guys would be interested in seeing. So make sure you click the cards somewhere in here or somewhere up here and check out some of those other videos. Well, these cool guns aren't cheap, but that doesn't mean we can't come up with a cheaper list. If you like this type of video, man, let me know by dropping a like, sharing it with your friends. If you like what I do here, consider subscribing and join the channel down below. Big thanks to you guys. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.